Hi, Clayton. I'm going to go through several things, small things from each one of your books today. I can't always remember exactly what we did the previous week, but I know where we left off. In your technique book, okay? So technique book, I want you to go to page 20. So I remember doing this last week. You and I are working on two new things. We're working on G position, where if it's your right hand, this is my right hand, my thumb is on G. And if it's my left hand, my pinky is on G. And when I'm in G position, my bottom finger, the lowest of my fingers, is on G, so that I'm playing G, A, B, C, D. Okay? So in the technique book, if you're at page 20, I want you to make sure that you are practicing through drop and rise. So drop and rise actually is using the G position notes, but it's not exactly in G position. The very first note is your 2 on D. I'm sorry, on B. B as in boy. And then it moves down one key, so your 2 is on A. And then down to 2 on G. Okay, so it just wants you to practice, then move down, and then move down. If you haven't done that, do it right now, okay? I'll wait. Just make sure you can find 2 on B, okay? Because that's your starting note there on page 20. Your left hand for the second exercise starts 2 on D. And then it moves down, and then it moves down. Okay? You should pause this video and make sure that that's what yours sounds like too. Okay. Then on page 21, you're going to do making the move. So making the move really does start out in G position, starting with right hand on G, rest, then I'm going to go up an octave. And then my left hand is going to play low G and end on low G. Okay? So it's just practicing moving around and playing in different G positions. The second half of the page, D, C, B, A, G. You're in G position. Now I'm octave higher. And then my left hand down here in low. Okay, and then you can play one more octave if you want to. So they want you practicing in all of these different G positions. Okay? Okay, that's your technique book, page 20 and 21. Then I want you to go to your lesson book. In your lesson book, on page 32. So on page 32, there's a wind chime song. It's working with fifths. And this one's not in G position, this one's in C position. But I want you to hear what it sounds like when you hold the pedal. Up an octave, and you do it again. Now, we may have already done this page. I don't really remember, but if you can play it perfectly, then you don't have to practice it, okay? But if you can't play it perfectly, I want you to practice it this week. I'm just going to add it on. It's a very short little piece. It's not very hard, and I think you can do it pretty easily. All right, then we're going to go on to page 33, the Bells of St. Joseph. So the Bells of St. Joseph is in G position, but it's in what I like to call far away G position. So my right hand, thumb, treble G. My left hand, thumb, low bass D down here, so that they are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 keys. 9 keys away from each other. Sorry about that, doggy. So the Bells of St. Joseph is also a pedaling song. So the pedaling there's not a lot of super difficult things going on. They're really trying to teach you about fifths and play in G position. So the Bells of St. Joseph, the right hand is in G position. The third finger, you're going to need a pencil. I want you to write this in. Your third finger starts, and then there's a skip immediately to G. So it goes 3, 1, 2, 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 3, 1, 2, 5, 3. And it pretty much does that on the second line as well. The left hand is just playing low G and D. That's all it's doing, the whole song. Whole song? Yes, whole song. Doesn't do anything else. Okay? It just does that. That's it. Okay? So you're really learning to hold notes for a very long time with one hand and move your right hand while your left hand's holding. And then there's a spot at the last part of the page where you're going to move your hand up an octave. In measure 10, it says move right hand up, and it says 8 VA. So you're going to move from G position right in front of you to G position up an octave. Okay? So there's a lot of fifths, but there's a couple of fourths in this piece too. I never recommend using the pedal right away. Make sure that you can play the piece before you add the pedal in, because it's just more complicated to have to use your feet in addition to your hands when you're learning a new piece. Okay, so in your lesson book, page 32 and 33. Okay? Then, theory book. In your theory book, I want to make sure that you look at page 31 and 32 and 33. I think most of those we've finished, but if we haven't, I want you to look and make sure that you are practicing. So some of that might have been last week's theory homework. So make sure that you have finished writing in the notes that belong on page 31. It's asking you to draw intervals. On page 32, it's asking you to look at, if I have a C and then a D, E, F, what's the next letter in the sequence? It's a G, and they want you to write a G there. But if I start on G and I go G, A, B, C, what's the next one? And you write it in. That's page 32. On page 33, all you have to do is look at what the music is and circle whether it's a fourth or a fifth. Okay, we might have already done this, but I just want to make sure that we are caught up in our theory book and that you understand the difference between fourths and fifths and that you can see them on the page. If you look on page 33, number 2, it says, circle the fourths in this music, then play and count aloud. So this is in G position, but this has got some fourths in it. So in G position, the first note is G. And then the first jump is a fourth. So you would circle both notes there. That is a fourth. So a fourth is always a line and a space, or a space and a line. They look a little non-tidy. They're a little asymmetrical. They're not symmetrical, they're asymmetrical. And then there's other fourths in this music. They want you to circle the two notes that create a fourth. Sometimes it's like, here's a note, and then the note right next to it is a fourth away, but sometimes they're stacked up. So you're going to circle the fourths. Then on the next line, it says circle the fifths. Fifths are easier to see because they're both a line and a line, or a space and a space, with one space or line skipped in between. So they fit in between your thumb and your pinky. Okay. Number 4 on page 33 is just asking you to say, is this a third, a fourth, a fifth, or a second? And then it's asking for H or M. H means it's harmonic, which means it's like harmony, which both of the notes happen at the same time. M stands for melodic, which is when the melody notes are one at a time. So melody notes are one at a time. And then harmonic ones are at the same time. Okay, so theory book 31, 32, 33. Lesson book, page 32 and 33. And technique book, which I closed, but I will open up again. Technique book, page 20 and 21. Okie dokie. Good luck with those, and happy practicing.